All right, everyone, we're live. We are live together here in Montreal. Hello, how are you, Sylvain?
Fantastic. It's
Fantastic.
so good to see everyone for the first time in almost 3 years. Seriously, I'm a reborn foodie.
Well, we'll talk a lot about this. Is our first live stream. Let's look at the camera and
That's
say
right.
hello. So join on if anybody's. We should be live on our YouTube page and
That's
live
right.
on our LinkedIn page. This is kind of the first one we've ever done.
Yeah,
It looks like everything's working. So if anybody's
I think
watching,
so.
send us a quick text and we'll show you some love on that. So, all right. Well, let's just wait a couple of minutes, let people kind of get in, let everybody know we're live. I think LinkedIn sends out an announcement saying, hey, there's a live stream happening. So
Absolutely.
we can.
No, you've done a pretty good job with the setup and everything. So we're live in Montreal.
We're live in Montreal. So let's talk about why we're here in Montreal. So the SIAL Food Show. You love the SIAL Food Show. You're like racing around eating food left, right, and center. Do you buy food when you're here? Like, do you have breakfast or lunch?
I eat something in the morning, but after that, it's just SIAL takes care of me. SIAL takes care of my stomach. Absolutely.
All right.
It's like the trying stuff segment we have, right? An excuse to find a lunch, a free lunch.
Well, I see Angela, who's my partner from Pointricity.
Okay, excellent.
Is there, and I think I can actually post her. There we go. It's working. That goes live. Look at that.
Perfect.
So I can post different posts, the ones I like, and people can flow in. So listen, what are we doing here? What are we doing this live stream? Where we're here all week.
This is your first SIAL. I want you
SIAL.
to tell me what your impression is of SIAL.
In one way, it's like another trade show, right? Lots of booths. But another way, I can't go 2 feet without seeing an interesting product that I've never heard of, or that I have heard. I'm like, oh, that's where that comes from. I walked half the show, and I was like, I thought I'd walked the whole show. And oh my God, there's a whole other half the show. Like, it's a big show. It's a food innovation. For those of you who don't know, it's a food innovation show happening. Yeah. I think they go between Toronto and Montreal, right?
Yeah,
usually.
That's right.
Usually, it's the first one in a couple of years.
So the big show is Paris, SIAL Paris. That's where it all started, and so 19 years ago, the SIAL network expanded beyond Paris and connected with the Americas and Asia. So we have SIAL Canada. Mm-hmm. So there's a switch between Toronto and Montreal. So every couple of years, it's in Montreal, and
so we would expect it in 2023 to be.
So next
year
it's going to be in Toronto. That's right. And there's Shanghai as well, which is the newest of the three.
It's getting off to a rough start.
Oh yeah. I don't know if they. Hopefully they'll be out of this wave, but it's not looking good.
No. I wound up talking to the head of marketing for SIAL from France. He was here, and he was saying, we got people locked up. It's very bad there.
Yeah.
They need, the irony, right? It's a food show, and they're running out of food.
But yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely.
We can talk about that and other things. So yeah, listen, I think it's a wonderful show. It's but hopefully you can hear a bit of the buzz, not too much, but there's a buzz here, right? There's excitement. And here's what surprised me a little bit. The first day of any show, just trying to figure out the right microphone positioning here. There we go. We got a HEPA filter going on in here. Of course, we're in Quebec, so we're all masked all the time, except for here. We're kind of cheating a little bit.
Our excuse is that I do live stream, we can take off our masks.
Well, we're actually in a plexiglass fish bowl.
Yeah.
And, people every now and then stop by and they tap some fish food down to it, which is good.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a lot of fun.
We go to the bottom and we eat.
It goes to the bottom, and some, we got to clean up the rest at the end of the day.
Get some food.
Oh, we're going to be talking about the food. Like this is a food show, man. Like, I got food, and I got a special treat for you. We're going to do a live thing on air. So I found this. Apparently it's not new. Check this out.
You're surprising me. I did not know this. People, this is a surprise.
This is a self-heating, automatic, activated
beverage. I've heard about this.
Right. I have the chocolate, you've got the coffee, I think. And
yes, it is.
So we'll get into it when we get into it, but it's got these chemicals that are activated by water, and you pop the bladder of water, and it goes into the chemicals and activates them, and then it gives you a hot cup of whatever. So, okay, we're going to try it.
Incredible.
I found it yesterday. like food innovation, you just trip over it. Food innovation is like
Could you
everywhere.
tell me where it was at the show?
Down this aisle,
Okay.
they small little booth against the wall, so
Right.
they had racks of it. I guess they're distributed out of Mississauga.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, it's made out in Spain.
Spain.
It's a Spain.
Yeah.
It's a Spanish product. Okay.
All right. So now
SIAL is international, by the way.
was
okay.
that's the other thing I didn't appreciate as much. So anyway, it's a great show, and I was saying that we're sitting here actually close by the entrance, and the first day, it's a mob scene, right? It's just activity, it's action, and I'm like, oh my god, it's fantastic. And then like trade shows kind of dies down a little bit, but then the second day, I was thinking, these trade shows, in my experience, not this one, kind of ebbs and flows, right?
Yeah.
Day 1, day 2. Day 3.
That's right.
Day 3 is the good day because that's when everybody's trying to get rid of all their stuff so they don't have to bring it home. So I drove here from Toronto
because you have space.
because I have space. I got a truck, so I drove here from Toronto.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring a bunch of stuff home. Let me tell you, I've already hooked up with the Azorian cheese guys.
Oh.
So my wife is born in the Azores, right? In Portugal.
I know she was born from Portugal, but you didn't tell me that.
She's an Azorian.
Okay.
So I've been to the Azores a couple of times, and sure enough, there's an Azorian cheese thing. And, I said, oh, my God, there's a cheese that we love, San Miguel, San Miguel. And they had it there, and they had 2 types. And I'd never seen 2 types before in my life. It's always been at the deli, 1 type of cheese, but they had 3 different ages. Anyway, you would laugh because I said, I've got a barbecue show, and maybe I could make some cheese. Oh, we're looking for influencers. That's another thing. Everybody here is looking to think about influencer marketing.
Really?
So I've approached, just casually, I'll talk about it. I've approached some barbecue guys and some sauces and some other stuff. And they're like, we're looking for people like you. Like they're all looking for actively looking, but they don't know where to start. It's very tough. You can like hire an agency or something.
That's right.
And they'll find you influencers. Those tend to be kind of bigger dollar influencers.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, day 2 is people were streaming in here like it was day 1. I was like shocked. I was so impressed. I was on the stage. You've been on the stage a couple of times, right?
Yep.
Now the layout of this place leaves a little bit to be desired because the stage format's kind of far away.
There's a show, and the conference program is very far. So it's a lot of work to leave the show, which is highly desirable, to a place where you're going to basically be listening to people for an hour or 2.
Yeah.
And the SIAL Toronto situation is just not the same.
The layout's different.
There's more synergy.
It's at the Intercan Center, I think.
Yeah, Intercan. That's right.
Center,
yeah. So basically at SIAL Toronto, conference rooms are actually adjacent to the show. So it's very easy to get in and it's well attended. And I got to tell you, I mean, when you look at the list of conference of speakers, it's pretty impressive. So it's kind of sad to see rooms that are half empty, but still, I mean, you get to catch up on a lot of relationships on the floor here. So this is my 16th SIAL. Okay,
16th.
1-6. Yeah,
wow.
1-6. And by the way, my first SIAL, I was a nobody. Okay.
Come on.
You're on stage on your first SIAL. So
yeah.
16 years ago, people didn't care I was around. I mean, basically, I was just,
Well, your only problem yesterday was you kept getting pulled away by CBC and the news to do interviews on food inflation and chicken flu, right? The avian flu.
Yeah, the avian flu as well. So, and again, it's happening today as well. I had to basically I have a team at Dallas so they can cover some of it, but some media just they would want
you.
me.
Yeah, they want you. Yeah.
So, but
and who can blame them? And who can blame them, really?
Whatever. But you've been getting calls as well, and so it's been a busy time. And the spring is always a busy time, but SIAL is always an appropriate moment to reflect on the future of the industry. And so
that's
here,
an interesting perspective.
Yeah, here you get to see, that SIAL is where private labels are born. That's kind of how I see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So grocers are here. And they're looking for ideas and products, and they'll actually negotiate with manufacturers to create a President's Choice whatever, or irresistible whatever. I mean,
Right.
it really depends which grocer you are, but I would say, especially right now,
And this is where the grocers come to find those people, right? Which I've heard from them all two things. We really miss this. You hear that?
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. Some alert on my computer.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, if you're out there, send us a quick text and say hi.
Yeah, exactly.
Send us Angela, thanks for sending us a text. Anybody else who's watching, check us out on YouTube.
If you have any questions about SIAL or
Yeah,
what we're
yeah.
seeing, we're here. We're actually running a podcast here to meet entrepreneurs, to actually meet people behind food products you eat every single day. And it's pretty amazing when you learn the stories behind all of the food.
And there's always a story, right?
Oh.
Like we've been interviewing people in the podcast, and there's always a human story, which is part of what I love about our podcast. There's always a human story behind the founder, like Carl from Guru, right?
Some of it is by accident.
Yeah.
It's like with any innovation cycle, some of the stuff is actually by accident, but it's the human aspect that really was missing the last 2-3 years, because it's hard to study food. It's hard to understand food without that human aspect. And we've had a few guests already on our podcast, and you're just drawn to their personalities. You're drawn to the energy as well. It's been a lot of fun, eh?
Yeah, it's been good. Sorry, I keep looking away because I'm just kind of controlling the broadcast here and just experiencing it as we go. And there'll be a tape of this. And I want to reach out. I mentioned Angela. We've got partners, Pointricity. So Pointricity is a little startup, and they're doing some great stuff around loyalty. So you're going to be able to earn some Pointricity points that will get you a Tim Hortons or a Starbucks gift card for answering a survey that we'll put out after this. If you want us to,
You're kidding?
Yeah.
Can I win?
No, you're exempt.
I'm in conflict.
Yeah, you're in conflict.
Yes.
And you hear from those folks a lot. I mean, it's great doing the podcast. I mean, we should talk about that a little bit. We've been doing our podcast 46 episodes now.
Yeah, exactly. You're between the two of us. I've always believed that Michael is the true foodie. I'm not a foodie. I'm an economist. I just look at food very rationally, but Michael is the foodie. He has a terrific barbecue YouTube show, which is called Last Request
Barbecue.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to know more about your thoughts about SIAL. Like, what you're saying. Are you inspired? Because I consider you not just a cook, but a chef. Yeah. You own 20,000 barbecues at home,
something like that.
And you're always
room for more, by the way, if any barbecue companies are out there listening.
But you're influenced by flavors and trends much more so than I am as an individual and as a chef.
Yeah.
Anything?
Hey, thanks, Tim. Thanks for the comment.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. So, did you see anything that actually inspired you?
The plant-based stuff always, like we talked to some people from making flax today. That was inspiring. Just some wonderful cheeses. We got some cheese guests. I've seen a couple of barbecue places. Here's the funny thing about barbecue sauces, and I met these guys from the U.S. Triple Crown. Check that out. Triple Crown Barbecue.
Oh, okay.
And it was an interesting. This black garlic. It's a black garlic.
Wow.
Eleanor. So he's actually got the packaging. There's a lot of barbecue sauces, man.
Yeah.
Like,
it's competitive.
It's competitive, and you got to really do something really, really different. So that's been really super interesting. We'll see if we're inspired by the this could solve a world of problems. Intrigued by that.
Absolutely.
And I'm just amazed as I just look. So what some countries do, we can see the USA section is they parcel it out to all these innovative companies, right? Which actually not surprised me. I guess I knew it was going to happen. But just the energy here is really inspiring. If not just the food ingredients, the energy is very inspiring. So
absolutely.
I'm going to I got some Sri Lankan tea and all kinds
Despite
of stuff.
all they went through the last couple of years, I mean, the food industry, let's face it, it's been tough.
Very tough.
It's been tough.
We heard that too, right? I mean, a lot of the grocers stopped buying, right? They were so busy just, not stop buying, but they weren't looking as much for innovation as they were to just get the basics on the shelf and keep the people safe, right? So I heard it from a couple of people that it's really picked up again. That now they're getting calls and people are back out looking.
They're more out there they're forward thinking a little bit more.
Yeah.
As they did before COVID.
Yeah. That kind of shut down as well.
I've had a lot of conversations on the floor here about, the future of trades and partnerships and this whole local movement, what it all means to the grocers. Should they go local? Should they go global? Should we rely on global trades more, because of what's going on with supply chains and of course with Ukraine. I just finished a panel and it was all about, are we going to be deglobalizing the food economy? And
what was the consensus? Was there any?
So
consensus?
I was with grocer Jenny Longo, who's been on our podcast.
Jenny, fantastic grocer. Hi, Jenny.
Yeah. Hi, Jenny. And
I'm sure she's watching. Actually, no, she's probably walking the floor. That's a very busy.
And eating.
It's a lot of work for actually the grocers, right?
This is where
this is work, man.
Oh yeah,
a lot of work.
Absolutely. And for and the other person is from Boulangerie Saint-Méthode, a baker in Quebec, and he was all about local because they only supply to the Quebec market, and they're very proud of that. So he was the VP marketing, Daniel Lacoste, great guy. But I did argue to him, you know what? I'm in Halifax. I'd love to eat your product, because bread in Halifax need work. It needs inspiration. And so I do believe that trades are
there we go. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
After a very short commercial break.
I paid for the Wi-Fi here too.
Did you?
You had to pay to get the Wi-Fi, or I run it off my phone. Yeah.
Wow.
Which I haven't been. I've just been running off my phone. But for this, I thought, okay, I'll pay the $50. $50. It's like I'm flying.
Wow.
For this Wi-Fi.
They don't charge you $50 when you're flying.
Been close.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How long is your flight?
Oh yeah. If you wanted for like a trip, I took it out to Vegas. That was like $23, $24, right? For sure.
I flew in from Tampa Bay. It was $8 US.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, it worked well.
U.S. Airways. Or
United.
Spirit. Yeah, I was going to say Spirit. Who did you fly with?
Sunwinds.
Now, speaking of which, if you notice, the light's kind of weird here. I look even more pasty white than I usually am, but you got a bit of a tan. So what are you doing today? You're in Florida today. Talk about that a little bit.
I'm in Florida this semester.
Yeah.
So basically, usually academics tend to go on exchanges and on sabbaticals, and we tend to work at different, just to basically get inspired and with our research and everything. And so we basically, as a family, we just basically went down to Tampa Bay to spend 6 months there. And so you're
a visiting scholar for a university there?
That's right. At the University, I'm a visiting scholar at the University of South Florida. They have 3 campuses: Tampa Bay, Sarasota, and St. Pete's. So I'm in the Tampa Bay main campus, and so I've been working on a couple of projects, but the big one is a MOOC.
What's a MOOC?
A MOOC is a free course, basically an online free course, and it's on the future of food. So I have 9 guest speakers, and I've been recording some fireside chats with different academics and practitioners from all over the world to populate the MOOC. And so I think it will be delivered for the first time in the fall. So I'm spending the summer to work on the program. So yeah.
And then you come back, but you're coming back to Halifax.
I'm coming back in June, and but I'm very well connected with Dalhousie for sure. Yeah.
All right. Ask us a question. Anything? Should we put anything? I don't know about anything.
Yeah.
Food.
Well, anything food related.
Food related. All right. There we go. Now, apparently, we're both on YouTube and LinkedIn, so check us out there. And if you haven't checked out our YouTube site, we record our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
Except for the interviews, which tend to be just voice. But we were behind a bit. I just actually posted our full episode from last week and our Trying Stuff episode today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because I finally got the my editor, was a little bit behind.
Yeah, that's right.
But I just posted those, so those are
okay.
live.
Good.
So Now
Yeah,
I
the
got,
trying stuff is actually working very well. It's a lot of fun.
it's a great idea. I mean, and people send us stuff, and it's very inspiring because they're kind of makers, and for some of them they're really small. I mean, you've got the some that are bigger than others.
Oh yeah.
Lactalis sending us Cracker Barrel cheese was not a
Actually,
small.
I caught up with Lactalis this morning, and their cheese world program is doing very well.
Oh, here we
Yeah.
got a question from Tim. Let's see. What's your take on the opportunity the current local producers have in front of them and how they ramp up to meet? We've talked to some local producers here.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
is Canada going to have a moment because of the geopolitical, all this stuff? Like, you've talked about Canada has a role to play. And we were talking to entrepreneurs, like this flax person said, this is a great moment for Canada to step up and be discovered and be part of the food. What do you
Despite
think?
our government,
Well, I mean, let's talk about that, right? I mean,
the budget. I mean, the budget really didn't help. I think. I mean, it's probably going to help make our agriculture greener, which is the focus of the current government, which is fine.
Mm.
But I think to have our moment, we need a more efficient agriculture. And in fact, we were just talking about that during our panel about deglobalization. I actually think that Canada has a lot to offer, but we need two things. We need we need more infrastructure, better infrastructure, more reliable infrastructure, and we're far from there. And also a bit of a food autonomy focus. And what I mean about food autonomy is to produce more food in an open market, an open economy. So a lot of, because in Canada, what I find frustrating sometimes is that there's a duality between food sovereignty and global trades. Food autonomy does a bit of both. So it's basically about, we just got a comment, and so basically what we need to figure out is how do we feed ourselves while feeding the world. So, and I use the California example. California is going through rough times right now with water scarcity. I actually, if we do things right in 20 years from now, instead of buying $4 billion worth of food from California, we could actually sell $4 billion worth of food to California.
Wow.
That's so Quebec. We're in Quebec right now.
Yeah. Which one? By the way, first time back in Montreal. It was wonderful to be here.
Oh yeah.
Like I missed being in Montreal of all the cities.
Yeah.
Montreal and Vancouver, but mostly Montreal. I grew up in Ottawa, so I really enjoy being in Montreal. It's just great to be here, and the people, and everything's exciting.
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
You know what? Sorry, I know you're going to make a point, but I just wanted to say I was so impressed of how much food innovation is happening just in the province of Quebec.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I had no idea.
It's not, and frankly, I think most Canadians aren't aware, to be honest. And I kind of knew that you weren't aware. That's why I make a point to invite a lot of key players from Quebec here that can speak English and is able to convey to our public that there's lots going on in this province. I'm not saying that there's nothing going on elsewhere.
Sure.
It's just there is a culture here, influenced by France, Europe, influenced by the Americas as well. The food is really central to Quebec culture. Really, in Ontario, I mean, if you talk about what's an Ontarian diet, I think the answer is basically very much a mosaic of different cuisines, is it not?
Every day in my house, it's Indian, it's
Greek
Italian,
food, it's
Greek,
Italian food.
Yeah.
It's that's to me that's Ontario, and it's a bit of a. It's because of immigration. Lots of great immigrants have actually brought some innovation into the province, and Ontarians embraced that. But there was no food identity in Ontario before this mass immigration. But in Quebec, Quebec has been around for almost 500 years.
Right.
So there was a culture here before immigrants.
You'd go to Quebec City for a great meal, or you go to Montreal for a fantastic night out and a good meal. Right?
Exactly. And so there is a bit of a Quebec traditional diet So that's why they're very proud about dairy and cheese. So that, when you went to the cheese section, you were probably very overwhelmed by the quality.
Yeah.
But that's not an accident. I mean, it's just there's hundreds of years of art there. So there's a wealth of heritage here when it comes to food in Quebec.
So a question: could you describe what you mean by infrastructure? I guess what's it going to take to achieve that point of arrival where we're selling more to California than they're selling to us? Is it transportation infrastructure?
Yeah,
technology,
logistics essentially, and technology. Yeah, it's a combination of of all of these things. And so in the east, we were blessed with the St. Lawrence Seaway. Out west, we need a St. Lawrence Seaway towards the west and towards the north. And I'm thinking about Churchill, and of course, a better connection with Chicago and Kansas City, if we are to develop the American market. There's a lot of work around infrastructure, but there's also like physical infrastructure, but there's also a lot of work that needs to be done around policy. For example, can we just make rails an essential service so that it doesn't go on strike, or we don't see a lockout every 2-3 years? I spoke at
are they paying their people right? I mean, they got 2,000 people driving those locomotives. I've seen some pretty big executive 140% increases year over year. Is it
probably?
Is it not that I want to go down that path, but do we need to make it? Can't they just pay the people properly?
It's the reputation that we have.
I know
it's not good, and we need to fix this. We need to when we talk about resiliency, we have to talk about infrastructure and people. And so if we have to have a conversation around automation and robotics, let's actually have that conversation.
Well, a good opportunity to have that conversation. We're going to have the CEO of Montreal. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yannick Gervais.
And oh my God, they're like the biggest producer of.
Yeah.
They're huge, based in Quebec, right?
Yep. 15,000 employees.
15,000 employees.
Yeah.
And they're the biggest. They've got to be one of the biggest producers of pork, right? Is that their specialty?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. They're it's a
going to be a guest on the Food Professor, not next week, because next episode, which is next week, we've got the president of Dainty Rice, which is the last rice miller in Canada.
Yeah.
And that's based in Windsor so that's our next episode. And then I think the one after, I'm bouncing around here a bit, but that's a live stream, right? I can't edit this out. It's
because everything is script when we talk.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. And then we're at the Restaurants Canada show for the episode after that. So we may do another live episode. And if I can get you on to the patio, we could do a cook. I have to figure out.
Absolutely. You're going to have to tell me what to do, though.
Yeah.
I may get hurt. Or I may hurt someone. Who knows?
All right. We got another question in the audience. What's a cool gift for my wife? She loves new food things. Now, I have a bias. Of course, my bias is another barbecue. I'm not sure that's what.
Another barbecue.
Well,
that's for you, man.
Barbecue. Yeah, but I always think of what's a good food gift for barbecue. Now,
so selfish.
It is. Well, though I do put it to good use.
Your wife uses a barbecue.
She does not.
That's.
She does not, actually. She does not. She has no interest in using it. She's a wonderful baker. It's funny in our family.
How about buying her a nice looking chef?
Oh! Snap! As the kids would say. Snap! As the kids would say. Hey, how you doing? We're doing a live stream.
Yes.
All right. Where was I going with that? So, buy the barbecue. But you know what? Okay, as a comic in all seriousness, you mentioned cheese. I saw some cheese boards and some displays.
Yeah. I
think a beautiful bespoke cheese board with some amazing bespoke cheeses that are kind of, not your ordinary, not that there's anything wrong with your ordinary kind of cheddar and whatever, but it's like wine. There's so many flavors. I think that's a nice gift.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Greg, that's what I would do. So the barbecue, maybe not, but the cheese board maybe would be a good idea.
There's all sorts of things you can think about. Better tools to work in the kitchen. We actually fell in love with a dry fryer. I don't know if you actually use
an air fryer. Yeah,
fryer.
We got an air fryer.
So
what about a sous vide machine? Do you have a sous vide machine?
We do not have a sous vide. That would be a good idea. That would be another good idea, especially in light of all our talk around food waste and all that. You just basically can keep your food for much longer.
Yeah.
And so that would be a good idea.
The sous vide, I like cooking sous vide. It takes a bit of work and all that stuff. I was going to say about my wife, I don't know what my wife and I, she's a baker and I'm a barbecuer, and it's a completely different philosophy for cooking. So she measures everything to the dead on accurate what it's supposed to be for the cake.
Right.
And if you don't do that, the cake doesn't work. For me, I'm like, it's about a tablespoon.
Yeah.
I put that in. What about you guys? When you guys cook, how do you like to cook?
There's no measuring going on.
Yeah.
No, it's all art.
Mm.
There's no science to our approach. I don't think, well, so it depends. Like
You said at the beginning you're not much of a foodie to begin with, so it's not a tremendous
like
interest.
it depends. Like for some recipes, I trust my gut feel,
Mhm.
but for some reason, when I make crepes, I can't trust my eyes. Like the way I have to. I need cups. I need tablespoons.
Yeah.
I need all that. But for other recipes, I couldn't care less. Yeah.
You know, speaking of innovation, I saw. I was at
I'm a
the.
Swedish chef.
Yeah.
It's
I was at the Burnbury egg booth.
yeah.
Margaret Hudson's been on our podcast.
That's right,
She's
yeah.
not there, but they've come up with a sous vide product.
That's right.
Which because I think it was Starbucks who did first that sous vide. I make my own sous vide eggs
Yes.
in the sous vide machine.
Yes.
It's a lot of work, so I kind of stopped
Right.
to be, And you know what I found? I meant to tell you, one of our other guests, Nabati Foods. Remember the plant-based egg company from Edmonton?
Yep.
They're at Costco now. They're selling a 3-pack of their liquid egg. It's fantastic.
And I've been out down in Florida. I've actually seen Just Eggs everywhere.
Yeah. I love, if you Just Egg was, we did a Trying Stuff episode with Just Egg, and they have a thing you pop in the toaster, and it's delicious. I have that all the time.
Surprising.
Like it's
surprising.
So speaking of surprises, let's try this. All right.
I'm so stoked.
All right.
Is that why you say stoked?
Stoked.
Yeah.
I was stoked. It's 420. Happy 420, everybody. I was stoked about
421, buddy.
It's 420. It's 420 week. It's like
420 week.
It's like Boxing Day week.
That's right. So we get stoned yesterday, and it's Earth Day tomorrow.
That's right. So we
it's
appreciate
the in between day.
We appreciate Mother Earth more. All right. So this is called Plus 42. Here, let me hold that up to the camera there.
Yeah.
See it.
And this is self-heat coffee.
Yeah. Lighting's not so great there.
Yeah, no, you can't really see it.
I don't know. It might come out better. Here we go. I'm just trying to balance the light here. Anyway, all right.
It's
So
a slick little container.
It's a slick little container. I got the chocolate. You got the coffee. So let's. I think from the bottom. Let's open it up from the bottom because that's where you activate the thing. What was there instructions? And not that I'm big on following instructions. Oh yeah, there's
see the ball. Open first. So.
Yeah. Open first in the bottom. All right. So this is live without a net.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes.
So you open right away?
Yeah, in the bottom. You got to. I think you're in the top.
Okay.
You got to open from the bottom. There you go.
Open the whole thing.
Right. All right.
So this is what you get.
So this is the blue pouch of water.
Yeah.
And I think the next step is you press down.
Press down.
Yeah, you press down, and it. There we go.
So it's pushed in.
It's pushed in. Yeah. Flip when steam appears.
Okay.
Flip when steam appears. All
Okay.
right.
So we're gonna wait.
We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait and watch.
Did
here.
you actually ask for instructions?
No. Well, no. Oh, it's getting hot.
Oh, yes.
Hey. Oh, look, I got steam. Look, can you see it?
Hey, there's steam.
Now we're supposed to flip. All right. Flip when steam. And then,
You can feel it boil.
oh yeah, you listen. I got it by the microphone. You listen.
Yeah. So when do we open it?
All right. I think
It's just boiling?
I think now.
You think so?
I don't know.
You go first. I feel like Bob and Doug McKenzie here.
Yeah, I know. All right.
You
Here we go.
Hoser.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. Okay. Oh, it doesn't talk. It just pops it open like a beer can.
A beer can, yeah.
All right.
But is it hot?
It's not steaming hot. It is towards the bottom though. It's good hot chocolate. All right, try it. Crack it open.
All right, there he goes.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Actually, that's really nice.
So coffee, there's steam coming out. Look,
It's getting a bit warmer. Yeah, it's not. It's perfect for me. I don't like things too super hot.
Interesting.
Is it warm?
Yeah. Well, I think there's some sugar in it. I'm not a sugar guy, but it's actually not bad.
This I have to say, this hot chocolate.
Oh, it's Arabica with sugar.
Pre-mixed coffee. All right.
I suspect that you probably would have had the choice of black coffee or coffee with milk.
I don't know. I just saw two things.
Okay.
I think it, like, you know, it's not for everybody, but if you have,
Because if you drink coffee and you're served coffee with sugar, it's the worst experience ever. Ever.
okay,
Oh,
but
yeah.
let's stick to the technology. Did it work? I have a nice.
It's not hot.
Mine is.
Really?
Yeah.
Like really hot. Like you can.
I would not unpleasantly hot, but I don't.
Okay.
Not going to burn my mouth.
I would want my coffee a little bit hotter.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Feel my the. Is that about the same?
It's the
as yours?
same. Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations to look for this. I don't know. We'll put
So
a look
from España.
from España.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
innovation, right? That's
Yeah.
innovation, right?
That's innovation.
Pack a few of these on the.
I think this
with
is
the kids.
probably about a year old, is it not?
Yeah, it's not new because Mary. I was on a panel today. Mary was saying, "Oh, I saw that product
Yeah.
a year ago or something." So it's not
Well,
brand new, but
it came out during COVID. I'm pretty sure.
nobody was going anywhere.
Exactly. And so you wanted to save time because you were always home. Right. Because that category just got slammed.
Just got pummeled.
Oh, yeah.
Just got pummeled.
Absolutely.
Another question: do we have the right trade agreements in place to achieve what we need to do? Now we got a trade agreement with Europe, CETA.
Yep. See that?
We have CUSMA,
Yes.
which is NAFTA 2,
That's right.
which I think is a pretty good trade agreement. All things
I
being.
think so. Yeah.
Then we've got, what else do we have? There's a third one I'm thinking of. The ASEAN, like the Asian, the Pacific nations.
Yeah.
right.
That's right.
That doesn't include China, but does include Japan.
Well, that's why we have that deal, because it doesn't include China. And we also have North America, the CUSMA. So I think the trade deals we just signed the last, I would say, 5-7 years have been quite helpful. It actually has positioned Canada very well. Obviously, we don't have a deal with China, but
we have to deal with China, but we don't have a deal with China.
But as I explained to the audience this afternoon during my panel about deglobalization, is that let's not kid ourselves. The world is basically about America and China, and the rest follows or is influenced.
What did I see in the paper? Big nations ask big things in big ways.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And so whatever happens, so we can talk all day about let's feed ourselves and screw the rest. But I mean, the reality is that, I mean, I've been in the US for 5 months. I haven't not heard once the word Canada. We do not matter, really. But these trade deals actually will help us.
That's why I'm a fan of the trade deal, because if you run a state, I mean, we're probably the biggest trading partner of 60%, 70% of the U.S.
Pretty
states,
much,
right?
yeah. No, I think it's really to get companies to take advantage of. You just burn yourself?
It's getting hot. Like, I'm not burning myself, but it's getting hotter.
Well, for me, it's the same. It's about the same.
No fear. I think that's hotter than it was before.
Yours is a little hotter, yeah.
Anyway.
But it's what's important, of course, is to get companies to, because you can get all the trade deals you want, but it doesn't mean that companies will take advantage of the opportunity, right? So we need to get there. We need more conversions, basically.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm just moving around here, just checking things out while we're broadcasting. There, we're back again.
There we are.
All right, now I'm going to post. Now let's post it, Angela. If you're still watching, let's post if you could post our post-event survey now, and post that up if you're still watching while you're doing whatever, or else I'll go efficient and find it. But anyway, you can earn yourself a gift card just for telling us what you like.
Greg, actually, just go back to gift ideas. Greg just suggested a great one, cheese board.
Right.
By the way, that's a really.
You like the idea. There you go. The cheese and the cheese board. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So we got some cheese fans out there.
Excellent. Now, have you posted to your LinkedIn? Let everybody know we're there. And
exactly.
Fantastic. Well, this is a pile of fun. We'll have to do this on a kind of regular basis, maybe when we're at events or something,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Maybe at the Restaurants Canada show. What's your shoulder? What's your? I think you got a bit of steam leakage or something.
Oh, maybe
I don't know.
It's leaking a little bit.
Oh, I don't know if that's the steam or if that's mine's not leaking. But,
well, there was some blue stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's.
Anyway. All right. What other stuff? So I showed you this Triple Crown.
Yep.
So the story behind this stuff, the guy found this sauce, and he bought the company, and then he took all the ingredients apart and then put it back together organic. So it's all 100% organic.
Oh wow.
Barbecue sauce, which is hard to find because sometimes there's high fructose corn syrup and some of these things, which I try to avoid. It makes it taste great, but it's.
And black garlic is grown where?
Where the garlic is grown and made. I don't know. I roasted or I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
The folks from Bone Sucking Sauce are here. There's Bone Suck. So that's obviously not a sauce, but I was talking to them. They got an amazing.
You don't like barbecuing, do you?
As it happens, I do. And then we got some oil. We're going to be interviewing from 3 farmers.
Oh, yes.
They got some fantastic. Camilna?
Yeah, 3 farmers are in the studio tomorrow, right?
That's right. Yeah. In our podcast. So we got lots of bonus episodes coming out with the people we interview here.
Yeah.
So tons of content coming out from here. And then we should also mention that we're the sponsors of the Canadian Grand Prix New Product Awards. And those finalists have just been announced. And we'll be interviewing, hopefully doing some spot interviews, 15-minute interviews before the show.
Yep.
So we'll be together again for doing that. So lots of stuff going on. Now we are going to take a bit of a hiatus over the summer from the full episodes, as we always do. Though we'll probably have enough bonus episodes, just that kind of one-off interviews with makers, to kind of keep you going. But we'll take a bit of a hiatus. You get back to Halifax, and
I get back to Halifax and host the entire province of Quebec. Because we don't have an Atlantic bubble this year, and everyone wants to travel without going international.
Yeah.
So there you go. People are driving into Halifax, and we're going to host the in-laws and everyone else.
And that, by the way, is not an open invitation.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Okay, so Angela's posted the point. There's the
there you go.
There's the survey link, and I think you can see it. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's the survey link. I'll leave that up for a little bit. It's kind of fun that you know what I do? I watch every Wednesday night. One of the guys I follow, Smokin' Joe Pitmaster.
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah,
Smokin' Joe Pitmaster, and he does a live Wednesday like this, and I think he uses the same tech, but it's great because he shares how he makes stuff, and it's just an insight into a veteran YouTube barbecuer. But he's a great chef, and he's an interesting cat, and he's an interesting guy, and
oh, cool.
He just opens it up. We have anywhere between 20 and 30. I've been watching you ever watched Babish, Cooking with Babish?
I've heard about it. Yeah,
he's got his name is Andrew. He's got like 3 million followers, and he puts on YouTube the unedited production of his show. It's 9 hours long, and I just put it on the TV and I just watch it while I'm doing other stuff.
And by the way, for our show, for our podcast, it's only 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, we got another 5 hours to go.
That's right. Yeah.
5 hours to go. All right. What else we got?
After 2 hours, we start drinking. Is that how it works? No?
Oh yeah. Oh wait, tickets to a Palette tasting series, virtual wine, avenueart.ca. Check that out.
That's right.
Check that out. Thanks for.
And we are not allowed to participate, according to the Grand Poobah right here. So.
All right. Well, what time is it now? 3:48. I don't know. We thought we'd go for about an hour, but
yeah.
Anything else you want to comment on? This has been fun, right?
Absolutely. I think so. I do want to acknowledge your work, Michael, because when you came with this idea a few years ago to start a podcast, first of all, I had no idea what a podcast was. I heard the term, but I don't even listen to podcasts. And you said, you should have your own podcast. And I said, well, no, I'm not really. And frankly, at the time, I was naive enough to believe that I couldn't reach other audiences. As an academic, you got the scholarly work done because you have to do it. You have to publish. And yet you need a profile on Google Scholar, but you also need a media presence, which I had. Like I write op-eds and I'm engaged with.
Very, very prolific.
That's right, in French, and so I've been with La Presse for 20 years. And but the podcast and your idea, and hey, do you want to
come on in?
Come on in.
We have Xavier, who's the founder of SIAL.
Yeah.
Xavier, come join us.
This is our live stream going on. Come on in.
Come in. Where? Come in right here.
You'll be able to be on camera. So this is a special guest, Xavier, crashing our live stream.
Live? Hi,
it's live
everybody.
on YouTube and LinkedIn.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. So welcome.
Thank you.
So Xavier, how's the show?
The show is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not expecting as much before the opening of the show.
Just so you know, Xavier, so this is Xavier Poncin. He's the president and CEO of SIAL Canada. Awesome. There you go.
Also known as the Grand Fromage.
That's right.
No, that's a good question. How is the show? Is as I said, we did not expect much before the opening. We were just happy to return in our I should say activities, and I mean, after 2 days I'm completely exhausted. Lots of things going on, I mean, I was astonished yesterday by the traffic, and even better, we don't want to jinx anything. I'm very superstitious.
Yes. Okay.
And we will obviously share it on Monday or Tuesday for the press release. But the only thing we want to make sure is tomorrow is also another day, and we don't want to drop the numbers, for example, for any reasons. So it's a good one. It's close to what it used to be in 2018.
Wow.
But it's not necessarily as it was in 2018, but we reduced a little bit the size by 20% in this year.
Wow.
And we
in terms of
the exhibitors,
kiosks,
kiosk and space, we didn't know exactly if we could have that, we could reach these numbers, and actually we overpassed these numbers, which is good. And normally you have a calculation saying the numbers of exhibitors equal to a certain numbers of visitors.
Right.
But actually the density and the numbers of visitors are even better than it used to be when it comes to the rate per exhibitors. So I should say I'm not saying that I'm in the seventh event, but close to that.
Yeah.
Well, you already got a comment. I hear the show is going well from one of our people
There you
who
go.
just commented.
Yeah.
Yes, it's great. I mean, as I said, 2 years of pandemic, 3 years of absence. We were. I was a little bit worried at the beginning of the show.
It is a bit nerve-wracking.
The beginning of the show
organized.
Really?
Yeah. And now
you never know. Like
I'm
these
completely
days, you never
relieved.
know. Yeah.
Completely relieved, and we have an international cocktail tonight, and we're gonna have fun.
Well,
were we invited to that cocktail?
Yes,
I don't
you
believe
have. Yes,
we have. Okay.
Yes, you are. You have received normally an invitation.
I just wanted to tease you.
Yeah, but you are more than welcome. We will be. We will also give a check to Montreal. The food bank. $12,000.
$12,000. Wow.
And they will also get the hold the food tomorrow after the closing.
How did you raise that money? I'm just curious.
By myself, I'm just asking people. No, I'm kidding, but no, just because we have started that in 2015.
But this is wonderful. I didn't even know that. I'm a big SIAL fan. Wow.
Yeah, 2015, and actually the what we do is every visitors that are paying their ticket, we put $5 in it.
Oh,
so it's it's quite good. we have a lot of this year. We wanted to make sure that everybody was involved in the show. So we have lots of free pass. But at the end of the day, it's still $12,000 that we are going to offer.
Especially this year, you know, with food inflation and the cost of food. I think it's going to be very well received by the community to see SIAL. Because SIAL, I mean, at the end of the day, it's really about growing an economy, right? It's about innovation, and so we're all out there trying to figure out, okay, what's the next best thing, you know?
Yes.
But we can't forget about people being left behind.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is great. Yeah.
This is a movement that we actually even before I arrived in 2008, and Montreal was already working with SIAL Montreal at the time. But in 2015, we decided to put some money, not only the food, but also the money. And when I talk with Montreal, is when you give $1, it's equal to $10 when it comes to
these organizations multiply the effects of money. It's incredible, because I work personally with Food Banks Canada, and that organization, I call them food rescuers. They really do a good job making money work for the needy. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, listen, you know, one of the things you said really resonated with me. In fact, at the beginning, I was saying, Sylvain, what do you think of the show? You know, typically you go to a show, the first day it's chaos, right? People are flooding in. I was expecting, you know, every day it goes down a little bit. I was shocked here in the morning. There's as much excitement on the floor right now as there was in the first hour of the show. So congratulations.
No, that's here is the 7.
I'm doing a survey.
Yeah, we're running a survey.
We're giving away Tim Horton or Starbucks gift cards if you take our survey with our partners at Pointricity.
They can win also a free VIP pass for next year in Toronto if you want to.
Hey,
there we
if
go.
You're out of Toronto or in the GTA.
Yes, exactly.
Anybody listening?
Yeah, we're happy to come back in Montreal, but don't forget that Toronto is also a big show, and we'll be there.
Do you have a date? Do you have a date yet for Toronto?
Yes, May 9th to 11th.
May 9th to 11th.
It's in May.
Really? It's always in May in Toronto. It's a lovely time for.
Oh, it's always in. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I love the date.
Yeah.
No, I think of it next year, because Restaurants Canada will move back to its traditional place, which is March. Retail Council of Canada is the end of May. Yeah. So it's a nice spot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right now it's a terrible spot, because Restaurants Canada shows would have been the week before.
We love Restaurant Canada.
Yeah.
So Xavier, have you?
That's true. I mean, this is a partnership that we have tried to build with Restaurant Canada for years, and we're still on it.
Yeah, very good.
We've had you on our show before a few weeks ago. The one question I wanted to ask you that I didn't ask is, as leader of this organization, how have you been doing with your staff, your team? I mean, because there's been a lot of changes, right? And so how leading an organization through COVID is tough. Leading an organization in your business is super tough. Could you tell us more about how you coped with everything that you had to cope with for the last couple of years?
A lot of anxiety, I should say, at the time where the pandemic struck, and the same thing for the restaurant with their staff. But we are looking for a specific job in our and talent in our sector. So basically, Sylvain, you know it. I lost 100% of my staff.
That's right.
I have been forced to rebuild from scratch with a brand new team. And what is the main thing is we built the show in 5 months, and my team was completely done in the end of January. So we still have people that are less than 3 months in my team, for example. So we managed to do it. It was stressful for me because I was very dedicated, I should say, in every aspect of the show.
You were responding to my emails in like Sunday afternoon. Like you.
Oh yeah,
you're a hardworking guy.
I must say, Xavier, I mean, you're well supported. We've had a fantastic time dealing with your team.
Yeah,
everyone.
And this booth, fantastic.
But we're gonna make it next year even better. I'm sorry about we're just restarting. I know that.
Oh
you
yeah,
were-
no,
and,
absolutely.
and it could be even better. And I believe that
I just
it's
need
worth
my
to make
face
it.
to be even bigger.
I don't know,
So-
but nobody
so
can see it.
people
Right?
can-
Have you taken a picture of that? Because I think
We
I
should.
like it.
You should.
I
Oh yeah,
like
it's
it.
great. It's great.
I
It's
love
just
it.
people will start throwing darts at it.
People walk by and go, "Where is?"
Yeah, exactly. You
Particularly,
see?
it's funny, particularly from the dairy part of the show.
Yeah.
They tend to.
We're the farthest
Yeah.
away. So
Yes.
coincidentally.
Not coincidentally. Well, listen, we're coming on 3:58, so we're 2 minutes away. So
Yep.
thanks to everybody who joined us. Don't forget, let me put up that post again from Angela to the link for our survey. Xavier, thanks
Yeah.
so much for
Yeah,
dropping in, being our
thank you.
special
Hey.
guest.
And as I said, if you want to offer a VIP pass for the winner for Toronto next year,
For the Toronto
I will
this
be-
year.
I will be happy to offer it.
Perfect.
VIP pass meaning 3 free conferences, and you have the VIP lounge where you.
That's great.
It's a big deal.
I'm not sure about Toronto and the style. I mean, the catering style of the Enerker, but at least here it's a good VIP lounge.
Very good.
The Seattle show in Toronto is always great. It's always great. Absolutely. And thank you so much. And congratulations on the show.
It's always a pleasure to have you, and thank you, Michael. I would like to have you next year on the cuisine to make a special barbecue demonstration.
Whoa!
No.
Live!
Live
Thank you.
cooking. All right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye. That's awesome. That's
All
a great.
right.
That's a. Are you into that?
Oh, I'm into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I was talking to someone about doing live cooking for them. You know, when I was in Vegas, person who shall not be named but owned a very, very big company. They're all looking for live streamers. Live streaming's the next thing. And I've got experience with the shopping channel. They're all looking for live streamers to layer that onto the platforms, right? To
Yeah.
make it more interactive, and you can watch me cook with Triple Crown and then click to buy it.
What would be best? Some of the live streams I've seen were very good. Why? Because they actually had a camera and they were walking around the floor.
Yeah.
So if we can do that next time, it'd be great. You and I, we walk around.
Yeah.
And we basically show the
We
public.
can do that tomorrow.
Can we not?
We can't do it live, but I can shoot it tomorrow because I got my gizmo that will do that.
My God.
We can do
This
that.
is the tech guy. The tech guy.
All right, listen, everybody. It's 4:00.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. For everybody who tuned in, Sylvain, thanks for being my partner. It's been a pile of fun. We'll do it again. Everybody, take that survey. This won't be the last one of these we'll do, but we might not change the time next time. But that was a bit of me. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day. Be safe and enjoy your food. And look forward to SIAL if you're in the trade next year in Toronto. Sylvain, safe travels back to Florida.
Take care.
All right.